An Ohio grand jury has declined to indict the two police officers who were involved in the shooting death of Tamir Rice last November in Cleveland, Ohio. And in this video, I will give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the shooting. Now, I think that the shooting was reasonable under the circumstances, although I do think that the police officers could have reacted in a better manner. But once again, it's very hard to distinguish from a distance whether or not a gun, or it's a toy gun or it's a real gun. This right here is a BB gun. Up close you can probably tell that it's fake because it has like the toy, or it says so on the side or whatever. It's like shoots plastic BBs, but most of these do have the orange tips on them. So let's say if it was out or whatever, it would be easier to determine that it's not real. But then let's say you have something like this, which is a Glock 17. It's very hard to determine which one's real and which one's fake when you're not up and close to it. It might be different if it would have been of let's say like one of those little cap. I forget what they're like, the cap toy guns, wherever where you put those little. It's like those things that make the popping, or a pop gun or pop plastic, whatever they're called. And it might have been different. It might have been easier because when I was a kid, I've seen those, and most of them were like green and orange. And it's a lot easier to determine the difference between that and then something like this, like a 357 Magnum. But still, what Tamir Rice had was something that looked more like this. And it's very hard to determine whether or not which one's real and which one's fake. But I do think that the police officers could have, said that with the loudspeaker, hey, put your hands in the air. And then also, I don't think they should have pulled up in their car. I think they should have maybe maybe have got out the car and then approached the kid from a distance. It's very hard to, I don't know, I'm not a police officer, but I would assume that it's hard to, look at a situation while you're basically about to jump out of a car. Now, when it comes to the parenting, I think that the parents are at fault here. I don't think Tamir Rice is at any fault whatsoever, because a kid's actions are a reflection on the parenting. If I had something like this, whether it's obviously a BB gun, and I wanted to walk outside and go play at a park with it, my mom would say no, that's not okay. And actually, my mom actually found BB guns, and she threw them away as soon as I had like 2 of them growing up, and she just threw them in the trash can and broke them. I feel that if you want to have kids, then you should be monitoring what your kids are doing. It just blows my mind that no one is talking about that. And also, I think that if I don't, and even though I do have one, I think that if these want to be sold, or any kind of BB gun that is sold, needs to have these orange tips on it. And I know this one doesn't, but a lot of these end up in the hands of children, and I think that they need to have orange tips. And actually, I don't even think they should even be made to look as realistic if it's a toy gun. I think that maybe paint it purple or blue or something, and then whatever. But still, it's like you never know when you're approaching a situation what this person is going to do. And I think that's the issue in this case. Now, I do find that some, like a lot of the police shootings and or unjustifiable shooting deaths of people throughout the country are wrong, and the police officer need to be held accountable. Such as the one with the guy in New York who was selling squares, and basically they choked him to death. And then there was another one where the police officer in, I think it was like South Carolina, shot the dude running away like 7 or 8 times and then trying to plant the taser. Yeah, that police officer, and the police officer in South Carolina has been or is being tried in a court of law. Now, I haven't really followed the Eric Garner case, but I think that in that case, yeah, those police officers should be indicted also. But it's very tragic when stuff like this happens, and it's sad that a 12-year-old is not here no more, and it's just something that I think that us as a country need to have have a logical dialogue about. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your evening.